Hey everyone, this is Jesse with farmingseattle.com. Wanted to do another section of the aquaponics system. As you can see, I have a bunch of lavarock that I'll be using for the grow bed. See if I can actually zoom. There we go, good picture. And this is really good because A, it's light compared to other rocks. It's so porous, so there's a bunch of bacteria and everything that'll go in here, and it's just a much better media for aquaponics. It is a little harsh on the fingers, and you do need to clean it. So that's kind of the process today. Right now I'm filling up a garbage can, and I'm going to put buckets. There's holes in the bottom of this bucket, and basically I'll just pull that up and down as I go, and that'll wash the rocks, which can then go into the grow bed. And I'm just waiting on UPS to bring me my Uni-seal and pipe so that I can put the siphon in there, kind of drain it out. And there's a worm in there. I have no idea how it got in there. But then I'm thinking I'll probably have this cover the entire grow bed just so the other parts don't get wet. And I might have to brace the grow bed a little bit. I don't know how much weight's going to be in there, but it could be quite a lot. This is kind of the preliminary piping. Gonna have the pond pump there at the bottom. I have this first valve at the top, and that's just going to be constantly flowing into the water to oxygenate it. And then another one with the valve on top that I can kind of adjust as we go and kind of get the settings right so that the flow is good enough for everything. Let's check on the garbage can. See if I can do it a little bit. Assuming it actually fills up with water. There we go. It's probably all plugged up at the bottom. And I'll probably just bounce it up and down for a while. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. But that's basically it. So I'll do that for every single one. There's probably, I don't know, 50 bags full or 50 buckets full. So I'll do that and clean it out and go from there. So that is washing the lava rock. And one other thing is I don't have a truck. So basically I went to the local yard and filled up a bunch of totes, garbage cans, and everything, and just hauled it away in the van. So thanks for watching. I'll do some more videos later on. Hey everyone, this is Jesse with farmingseattle.com, and I was going to show the process of using a Uni-seal, which is a little bit smaller. This is the part I was waiting for. This one is a 3/4 inch Uni-seal. Previously I was trying to use the bulkhead, but my 2-inch bell siphon would not fit it. But this one is like perfect. You can see down there. So this will just sit on top once it's inside. Oops. So I'm going to drill a hole. Let's see here. Yeah, I got plenty of room on this side. So maybe like right there. One thing I'll need to do is, let's see here, I've got the 1 1/4 inch spade bit for this 3/4 inch Uni-seal. On the bottom of the plywood, I'm going to have to use this file and kind of bevel the edges, just because I'll show you. If this goes in, there's not enough, so I'm going to have to at least get this layer down right there, and I'll just kind of bevel it at an angle, because when this goes through, there's a little lip right here that when you push it down, that kind of needs to grab onto something at the very end. So we'll make that available to it, and we'll use some soap, shove in the 3/4 inch pipe So I guess I'll cut a hole and put the pond liner down, try and find the hole. I'll cut it a little bit smaller so that it'll kind of stretch for the pond liner. I'll cut the hole in the pond liner, push this through, put some soap on the 3/4 inch pipe, and shove that one through. So I'm going to do all that, and then I will come back with the finished product. Okay, so this is filing the hole, and basically I was just taking this file and kind of going at an angle a little bit on top, trying to get as clean as possible. Let's see if I can get that thing off. Maybe not. Just putting a tiny bevel on the top part, and underneath, if you can kind of see down there, I took a pretty good amount off the bottom. Let's see if I can get it closer. Right. It'll focus, of course. Right there. So took off a good amount at the bottom, beveled it, and I'll go ahead and place the pond liner back on, and I'll make sure that I remember it's right there. I'll cut a 3/4 inch pipe, probably 20 inches or so I have a good amount on top and below, because I'm assuming once I put it in, I'm not really going to move it around a whole lot. And then I'll cut the pond liner, stick in the Uni-seal and the pipe, and then I'll be done. And I'll take a video of that part. Okay, so here is the Uni-seal installed, and basically just cut a hole about the same size of that top lip right there. So definitely smaller than a hole itself, and just kind of shove that thing through. And I didn't put any silicone down or anything. Obviously this hole is above the stock tank, so if it leaks, it's going to leak in there. I don't really want it to, but apparently it should seal pretty well. So the next step, got this 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and I'll go ahead and shove that through, put some dish soap on there, and see how easy that is. Okay, first attempt at the Uni-seal did not work. I was using a kind of sharp knife, but as you see, the hole is not very good. It was kind of getting blocked at the top of the Uni-seal. See if I can do that right. Come on. So the pipe was getting stuck in the top, and I think there's just too much of this around, so I'm going to just kind of make it the exact size of the hole, and I just put in a brand new blade. So I'll go with that, and then I'll show you the upgraded hole. Okay, lesson learned: use a strong, fresh X-Acto blade, or whatever kind of knife it is, and I'll place that guy in there. Hopefully it fits a little better. If this doesn't work, I think I'm going to need to if this doesn't work, I'll probably have to bevel the top a lot more up there, and go from there. So I'll try looping this up again. Hopefully it doesn't get caught on this ridge, and we can get this going. I also beveled the edge of the pipe a little bit, see if that would work, but it didn't work that time, so we'll see what happens. Okay everyone, it's now the following morning, and I got the Uni-seal in last night. I dropped using dish soap, a couple things. So no dish soap, I used Kerrygold butter to do that. I also put the pipe in into the Uni-seal about halfway, and put the whole thing in because it was getting stopped at the top, and then just turned it and turned it and turned it and pushed down as hard as I could, and it took a long time, but I think it cut kind of a groove into the Uni-seal, and then it worked. But as you can see, it's holding water because it's raining, and I can adjust it up and down. I don't see any water coming out. There's one little drip right here, but I'm not sure. So as far as I can tell, it's working. So today I'll have probably lower this pipe down a bit and put it at the right level. We'll get the pond liner spread out, and I can start putting rock in there and running the pump and everything. So just thought I'd give an update on that. Use butter, put the pipe in halfway and put the whole unit in there, and bevel the bottom and the top, and then it should eventually go in. It wasn't the easiest thing. I'd probably definitely use bulkhead, but on the next one I'd have to find the right size pipes, and you probably have to use a bigger pipe than 2 inches, probably 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 for the bell siphon. So one with that. Okay, so to clean the lava rock, I needed to make bigger holes. So I'm using a bigger drill bit and just drilling big holes in this bucket that I have so the water will drain a little faster. You want to do this?
Okay, fine.
Okay, here. Good job. So we'll do the entire bucket like that. Oops. The bottom of it. And then we'll start filling it up with lava rock, putting the lava rock right there, put it in the bucket, and dump it in the bed. So we'll do that, and then we'll show you what it's going to look like. Here, Hunter. So there's the first batch right there. I'm expecting a lot of buckets. Okay, so this part, I set the level of the bell siphon. So this is the pipe that goes into the Uni-seal and goes down. So whenever the water hits this high, then the water will start going in there, and it'll never get higher than this point, assuming there's no blockages or anything like that. So what I did is put this 2x4 down. This is going to be like the height of all the rocks, and then it's about an inch or so below that level. So the water is never going to go above the rocks. And do that. So let me just clear out this spot. And so this is the bell, and basically this one is just a 2-inch PVC pipe with a cap at the top, and I just drilled holes at the bottom. So the water is going to slowly rise into there once this is on this. Down there, see if I can get a good seal. And so the water is going to slowly fill up, and once it hits the height of that middle pipe, it's going to create a siphon. So then it's going to suck water through there and suck all of it out until we hit the very top of these little holes, and then it's going to start letting air in and break the siphon. So that's how it's going to constantly go up and drain, up and drain. So with that, I'm going to finish filling this up. Oh, I got one other pipe which is just going to exclude the media, so it's not going to let rocks get super close to that. Hopefully, I probably need to get a bigger one, but until that time I'm just going to use that. I'll drill some slits or cut some holes in there so that it can go through, the water can go through easily. I don't know what size that is, but it looks like a 3-inch, so I probably need something bigger than that, 3.5, 4 inches or something, 5, 6 inches, but I don't want to pay for it. So with that, I'm going to cut the pond liner, and I'm just going to have it basically draped down so it covers all the wood, so the wood won't get wet at all. And I'll probably have a bunch of extra. I could probably even make another bed, so I definitely overbought the size. I think this was like a 13 by 10 or something like that. So I'll cut that off, and then I'll show you what it's like, and hopefully I can get it running today and get some stuff going on. Alright, so right now I am filling up the grow bed. Probably got it 3/4 of the way full with lava rock, but I want to make sure that the bell siphon is going to work. Let's see if I can look in the corner. and watch that water rising. I'd estimate, geez, I don't even know how many gallons of water this thing can take. I think the pond liner thing said about 150 or so gallons. That's about 1,000 pounds. So hopefully, it's probably about 2,000 pounds worth of stuff maybe. There we go. So I'm assuming this will probably hold up just fine, but maybe not. I'll put bracing on it later. Just wanted to kind of test it out and see if this thing will actually cycle once, and I can give some video of that. So while this is filling up, this is the 3-inch media excluder. I just cut some slits in it, horizontal with a saw, and there's obviously big holes in there. So as soon as we get to about right there, that should be when the siphon starts. Still got a ways to go, so I'll start this up when it starts going. Okay, so we should be extremely close to the siphon actually working. Oh, why can't it focus on that? There we go. So it's still filling up. It's probably taking about 15 minutes or so. Full bore with the hose. Let's see here. The level should be about right there, another ½ inch or so. So we'll wait and see. Down below the Uni-seal, right? I can't even. Oh, there's the pipe. It's not leaking at all. Full bed, so that's good. It probably would be beneficial to have a PVC bulkhead, just because if something's clogged or you need to drain the bed quickly or something along those lines, you can just take off all the bell and unscrew the standpipe in the middle, which will effectively bring the water level down to, you know, the very bottom or whatnot. And so far the bed is holding up quite nicely. I haven't heard any cracks or anything, which would kind of suck. And this is just the 300-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank. Let's see if we can get this thing to start going any second now. And as you notice, the water level is pretty high to the top, a couple inches, which is perfect. So basically this bed is going to be full to the top with lavarock, and you know, the water level should be about 1 inch below the very top of that, which so far it looks pretty level. This side I think was a little lower, and that's why I put the drain over here. So the pump's gonna run from that end, pump the water up there, and the water's gonna, you know, slowly move this way down the thing. So assuming that this bell siphon works, we can get it going any second. It's got to be close. Some other ideas that I have is probably building another little bed, a wicking bed, which is just soil. I'll probably have a big container right there and put it on that corner between the pump and that, and it basically just has running water going through the bottom of it. It doesn't go up anymore, it just wicks water through the media to the soil, which is the top layer. We'll do that and try and propagate some plants with this. I'll probably throw in, I don't know, a few plants, maybe some elderberry plants, some hardwood cuttings into this bed, and get this thing maybe propagating some hardwood cuttings, maybe some grapes over the winter. I don't know what plants. I'll probably get some plants from the grocery store, maybe some old lettuces or whatnot, and just stick them in here, see if they can get growing. It's probably going to be too cold for anything for the most part. But yeah, let's see here. And it is quite dirty still after, if you can see the water, it's a little murky. It's not too bad. I expect that to go down and all that will settle in the bed itself once it's run a few times. Let's see. Probably getting close to my limit here. But I'm glad this thing isn't full of gravel, because it would be very, very heavy. Or if you used, I think they use clay circles or balls or whatever, which would be very expensive to fill up this thing. I might use some expanded shale just on the top inch or so, but in the meantime I'll just have lava rock and do that. So it looks like we're getting close to where the 2-inch PVC pipe, that's where the 2-inch PVC pipe is. And so the water level must be like almost there, or it's just not going to work. Wonder if I can see down in the pipe. See, and this media thing is too small, but it should be letting water in. And so once it starts, it's gonna start pumping out the bottom of that pipe. But I gotta make sure that it's not gonna overflow everything. Huh. Assuming I did this correctly. Well, let me take a look and see what's going on. If it starts, it starts. Well, when I wiggled the pipe in the middle, it started. Let's see here. It might not be strong enough, but at least the water's coming out. So maybe it'll make a bell siphon, and I'll cut the water off up here. There we go. So assuming this whole thing drains, that's ideally how it's supposed to work. I'll have to get a bigger excluder. It should really be pumping out there, which it's not, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, well, that's it for today. Everything will be going strongly in the future. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I found out that the sandpipe was a little too high, so I went off and cut the top of it a little bit, and this is obviously the bell siphon up higher than it should be. But as soon as I put the bell siphon back on, the water level was about a ½ inch below that. And you can see that it is quite a good stream of water, which is going pretty fast. So it's working. How well it's working, we'll have to tell. We'll have to mess with the water flow going in. But this should suck water all the way down to wherever the bottom of that bell siphon is. I'm just glad it's working. Alright, thanks for watching.